Hi everybody. I know it's been a super long time since I said that I was gonna do my video. I think I started my YouTube channel um, during the last Mercury retrograde, and I just stopped altogether. Um, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was really busy, but I'm here and I'm gonna try to do one video at least a week. I'm gonna try, but for this video, this is gonna be more of a story time video. So I want to say what day was that? Wednesday, last Wednesday. Um, I went with my mom to the cancer treatment center. Um, I want to go back because I give you a little bit of a backstory. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in January of last year. Um, it was really hard time for me and my brother. We couldn't really understand, why something like that would happen to our mom. You hear about it happening to, other people, but when it hits, close to home, it hurts a whole lot more, you know. But when it's not close to home, you can kind of, disconnect from, all of it. But she was diagnosed in January, and in the beginning, I used to go with her. I didn't go with her first treatment. She was really upset. And I know she's gonna kill me for doing this video or mentioning her in the video, but she was really upset. She pushed me and my brother away. She didn't want anybody, around her when she was going through, that time period. But and that was about, I would say, about a year. She's still actually getting treatment for it as well. But last week was the first time that I actually went with her when she got her treatment done. The first time I went with her, so when she was getting a lot of the information, the doctors were talking to her, talking to her and telling her, all the different things that, was going to happen, that kind of thing. Different, trying to, let her know about different options she has, you know. So, when I went with her the first time, I guess I was just kind of really not, tuned into what was going on and kind of blocked everything out. But then when I went with her last week, it was different. She was actually going through the whole treatment process. When we first pulled up in the parking lot, I felt like a sick feeling in my stomach. And I get that feeling every now and then. Like, I want to say, if I talk to somebody and they're not a really good person, then I can basically feel their energy. So I started to feel the energy, of the building as we parked the car. And when I got out of the car, I was like, Mom, I'm about to throw up. She's like, well, what's wrong? I don't understand. You okay? I'm like, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. And my mouth was literally watering, like to the point where I was making the gagging sounds, but nothing was coming out because I hadn't eaten that morning. So her appointment was at, like, I think 12. Yeah, I want to say it was at 12. Normally her appointments are a little bit later than, well, no, a little bit earlier. I'm sorry. A little bit earlier than 12 o'clock. So she went in, she checked in or whatever. And there was a lot of people in there, like a whole lot of people. And while I was sitting there waiting for her to be called, I was watching like a few videos on YouTube, just trying to pass the time, and kind of trying to block out a lot of the stuff that I was feeling, because I'm an empath, and when you're an empath, you feel so many different energies. You feel everything. You don't feel just good or bad energies. You feel all of them. So you know, I felt I felt a lot of sadness, a lot of worry, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. Well, same thing. Um, I felt death. Period. Which was it was a little hard, but I mean I had to block that out because I was trying to be there for my mom, and I wanted to know I wanted her to know that okay I'm still here for you or whatever. But I mean we ended up being that she was getting her treatment done. We ended up having a really nice time. She loves seafood, so we watched YouTube videos about seafood, which was really cool. Uh, I had no idea that Korea had, I think the third, is it Japan or Korea? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Japan or Korea had the world's most biggest fish market. So since she's a lover of seafood, that was kind of interesting. And it was interesting for me too because I mean for them to come in and bring the fishermen, the workers come in and they bring the fish and then they cut it, and it's really cool. It's an art to cutting fish. If you cut it the wrong way, then it's not good. And they have a lot of what do you call it? A lot of merchants that buy these fish, and if you touch it or cut it wrong, then the market loses out on thousands of dollars. But anyway, so we were there from about 12 to about 3. I think it was about 3 o'clock. Yeah, about 3. No, maybe 2:45. My mom works overnight, so normally she gets ready at like 1 o'clock and no 2 o'clock, and she leaves at like 3. But being that her appointment lasted a really long time, she didn't understand you know that why she would get an appointment so late. I guess she kept pushing her treatment back and back. Um, but when we were in the parking lot and we were before we got in the car, I was trying to explain to her what I was feeling when we were in the parking lot. I said, well, mom, I told you that I feel like different things, different energies, all that kind of stuff, for you know because I have a gift. She knows that I have different gifts. Since I was a child, she was a Sunday school teacher, so I was in church a while. Um, and I remember one time when I was little, they had I think a revival or something like that. I think that's what it was called. And the preacher, the prophet, spoke to all the parents and said, "Bring all the children up because I'm going to prophesy to them." So he prophesied to my brother, and he said that my brother was going to do a lot of running, and that he needs to, he told my mom to make sure he stays out of trouble. And then with me, he said that I would be a prophetess, which is the same thing as somebody that can see, different, things. They have, I don't know if you know, but different things, like they have different dreams and visions, and I mean, I knew then, because my mom explained, she explained it to me, so then that's how I knew. But, as I got, older, getting to high school, I was always the different one. I would say I was a rebel. I mean, I had my friends or whatever, but nobody really understood me because I would feel different things. And then at that point, I didn't even know what I was an empath. I didn't even know that what an empath was, when I was in high school. I just felt, okay, I don't feel right around this person, so I took that as a gut feeling. But when I got older, I found out what, an empath was. But anyways, I tried to explain to her and tell her, hey, mom, look, I felt this way because of thus so and so. It's a lot of energy in this building. I mean, it's a hospital. It's a lot of energy, it's a, it's a lot of energy, a lot of bad energy. It's a lot of death, at this particular place that you go, and that's what I was feeling. I was feeling the sickness from other people, you know, everybody being sick from the chemo and, the nausea. I started to feel all that. And she's like, oh, well, now you're like talking weird and I don't understand you. So I was like, oh, okay, Mom, let's just end this, because, I'm trying to explain to you and you have no idea what I'm talking about. So she ended up not going to work because it started storming. And I live in Florida, so it's hurricane season. So it literally started to storm. And she said, well, I can't go to work in this, so I'm just going to hang out with you. I said, okay, well, that's cool. We can hang out. But then it kind of put a damper on my plans because I had to go get a t-shirt made, and all this kind of stuff. I had my own business that I had to take care of. And a lot of things I do, I don't want my mom to know about. Like, as far as the whole spirituality thing, she doesn't, she wouldn't agree with what I follow now. So I try to keep her, out of the loop when it comes to that. But we ended up going to this market. I'll probably have to do a video. And then we go one day of this Asian market that she loves, and they have like live crabs, and then they have live crawfish. So we picked out our crawfish and everything like that. And we did that, and we got in the car and we had to go to Publix. In Publix I was walking around with her, and I said, well, Mom, I need to get a few things, and I kind of, went to another aisle, and I walked on the chip aisle. No, she was with me on the chip aisle, and I ended up picking a bag of some, I think these chips, they were jalapeno and sweet. I had no idea which kind. I said, well, I don't know what kind to really get. There's so many different chocolate bars and pieces of chocolate. I don't know. Literally, after I said that, there was a woman that came down the aisle. She came down the aisle, and a bag of candy literally lifted up and flew across to the other side of the aisle. Nobody was near it. Nobody. And it's not at Publix. If you ever been in Publix, you know that when you're on the candy aisle, they have the candy that's up on the shelf that you can just take it off the shelf. But this particular bag of candy was literally in a bin. It was kind of like a plastic bin that was made around the shelf. So you have to reach in and lift up. So when I saw that, there was a guy standing next to me, and I said, did you just see that? And he looked at me, he said, yeah, I saw it. And then the lady that was coming down the aisle, she was pushing her cart. So the candy actually flew from in front of her basket. Like, it flew like the front part of the basket. Not the part that you push, but the back part. And she stopped her cart and she said, oh, that wasn't the bag that I wanted. Ha 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 ha. So I said, well, what was that? She acted she didn't act like she was creeped out or anything or scared or anything like that. And then the guy next to me, he was, I think he was Puerto Rican. He looked like he was Puerto Rican. So he kind of knows what he kind of knew what was going on. It's like we both gave each other that look like, okay. So I said all that to say, that was just basically, my day, hanging out with my mom and just experiencing the different, things. Oh, and then when we were driving to go get my daughter, we were on the way to go get my daughter from camp. and it was pouring, raining. It was so bad. And when she turned onto the street where my daughter goes to camp, I noticed that there was a guy in the median. So as we're driving, I see this guy. He looks like a black guy, and he had his hand like literally in his pockets, and he was walking with his head down, and he walked in front of the car that was in front of us. I was like, oh my God, that man is gonna get hit. But I didn't want to freak my mom out because she was driving. But when we got closer and the car moved over, the car in front of us moved over a little bit, that's when I realized that it was a spirit. It was somebody that was walking in the rain, and he just basically disappeared. And where I live, I see a lot of spirits. I see a lot of different things at night. I live near a hospital as well. So being that I live near a hospital, a lot of people, pass away in the hospital, and then they come, they spirits wander. I remember when there was one that died that was in my apartment, and he wasn't a bad spirit, but he just was really annoying to me because it's like I could see him and I can sense him, he basically would he would walk his dog like on this pathway here. Everybody walks their dog there, and he was really happy during those times. So a lot of them, I honestly feel like my apartment is kind of like a passageway. Being that I'm an empath, they can kind of, an empath and a medium and a whole bunch of other stuff. Being that I am that, they can sense me and then they come, they gravitate toward me. Right now, I cannot hear them because that's my choice. I can see them, I can smell them, and I can I can see, smell, and feel them when they're around. And at night, that whole area back here, this whole area, literally is lit with all these different spirits that are walking around and just going crazy, especially at 12 o'clock. And I mean, it's been times where I sit on the porch and I'll talk to my spiritual advisor, and I'll say, hey, look, that's so and so, blah blah blah. We could just be talking about, whatever. And I see all these different spirits walking around. I've seen a guy in a black cape. He kind of looks like the ones that operate the guillotine. He looked like that. I've seen fairies as well. I see them like, and I'm gonna have to do a video about that when I actually had an encounter with actual fairies. So that right there kind of blew my mind. But yeah, so it's just a lot of different spirits that are like that love that little area back there. I seen them run. I seen them just sit in the middle, like right there, and just stand there and look at me to see if I'm gonna say, oh hey, I see you, to see what I'm gonna say or see what I'm gonna do. So yeah, but I just did this video just to say hey to everybody, and just to give not really my take, but just to let you in on what I see and what I feel. But I'm going to try to do more videos every week. I'm going to try to upload videos. But you guys can comment below and let me know, have you ever experienced anything like that? Are you an empath? Like there's different kinds of empaths, like which empath are you? With me, I can not only sense other people's emotions, but I can also sense animals' emotions if I touch them. That's another video. Um, and also trees, plants. For some reason, plants really like me. I don't know why, but I can sense the trees' energies as well. And like, I don't know, you can't see. Oh no, they covered it. There is right there, right there was where, right over here, my fingers went that way. Right over there, there were two big trees, and they were cut down. I want to say Monday, or it might have been Monday or Tuesday, whichever day. They were cut down, so it kind of feels a little weird because they're gone, and it kind of feels a little depressing out here because a lot of the trees were cut. Even in the other buildings, my building, they cut those too. I have no idea how many others they cut because I'm just not trying to see it. I think it's really sad that you have to cut trees, and it's really crazy because my apartment complex is the trees are the focal point of the complex. And I'm like, I don't understand why would you do that. But anyway, that's some people just don't really respect nature. But anyway, like I was saying, comment below. Tell me about your experiences with, if you ever been if you are an empath, have you ever known someone that's an empath, like all that kind of stuff too. I don't mind any kind of feedback. It doesn't matter. But I do ask everyone to be positive. And also, shouts out to the Baron for launching his website. He just launched his website a few weeks ago, and the Baron is also my spiritual advisor and teacher as well. So I will link his channel below as well as his website. With the Baron's channel, he does tarot readings. He teaches you different rituals that you can do. He gives his readings are very good and they're very accurate. He just launched a website, I think about 3 weeks ago. I want to say 3. It might be 4, but I'll put all that in the description box below. But I just want to just say hey, and I've already did the introduction video, so I hope you guys like the video, and give me your thoughts as well. And everybody, I always want you to remember to steel yourself against negativity. And I will be seeing you again. Bye.